you can never really be upset with a team that goes out to one of the best teams in the world, and this is the defending champions. That doesn't make an excuse, though, because even being the defending champions, they showed a lot of frailties within this competition. So as we said in the break, and I will remind everybody, if England are going to be successful in this, they need to be the aggressors. They need to go out and effectively punch Argentina in the mouth before they receive a punch. Because at some point, that guy over there who's 5'7" and arguably the greatest player that's ever touched the football will punch you. He will give you something to think about. He will turn around and do a moment of magic. That's why we've associated him for greatness for so long. But it depends on what you do to start this game. It's really going to determine whether or not England are going to be successful, because they have 3 stars on their chest, and you should be envious of that. Because the history between these two countries, I'm talking just purely from a footballing perspective, tells you that this is arguably the biggest game that these players will ever play in their life. Step up to the moment, accept the responsibility, and they'll get behind Jude, man. Jude!
JD, I got a question for you, though.
Hit me, bro.
We were talking about this a little bit, you know, before we came on here, and the expectation,
yes,
from media, from English people, to me, it's way too high.
Way too high.
I don't think the English team has ever been, for the longest time, an elite footballing nation. And we even have, you know, Grella talking about it the other day, the standard. To me, the standard is getting to the semis is above the standard. Right now, what was it, Hannah? They've gotten to the semifinals, I think, 4 times in the Euros and the World Cup in the last 8 years. That is above the standard for the English national team. They have
above the standard
because they've never done it before. They invented the game of football, won one time in '66, and then ever since they've been the standard. Why? They're not the standard. Brazil's the standard. Argentina's the standard. Germany's the standard. Even Italy, who hasn't played in a World Cup in 3 times, is the standard. Those are the standards.
I don't think it's fair to turn around and compare transitional periods, because you're talking about Italy winning the World Cup in those periods of time. And it's true, we grew up in the 90s and Italy had the best domestic league. They were phenomenal in terms of the players they produced, not only for their national team, but obviously the showcase that we got every week in Serie A. But they've only won 1 World Cup and had an element of disappointment over the last, 12 years has it been? How many times have we seen Italy sit here and fail, talking about their failures after and over again? Brazil, we've had the conversation in this World Cup about this Brazilian team lacking the Brazilian identity. So they're not in the conversation. Holland is another one that always seems to be there but never quite complete the job. So we talk about all of these countries. I remind people, I was here, present, working in the media when people were having the conversation around whether or not Leo Messi was good enough to lead this Argentina team before 2022. So give these an opportunity to, and I'm going to remind everybody, the 9 and the 10 that's playing for England right now are arguably the best players in the world in their position.
That I agree with. That I agree. They need to be praised, though. They need to be praised. The Italy team, Tone, I'm going to let you talk in a second. The last part for me, the Brazilian team, the Italian team, these teams need to be crushed in the media and by fans, because they're 5-time world champions, 4-time world champions, and we haven't seen them progress in the last 12 years too well. These guys need to be praised. They're doing
of what we hope are 2 mouth-watering semi-finals. In Atlanta tomorrow, England-Argentina, the build-up, a 2-hour build-up, but tonight we focus on who the opposition will be in New Jersey on Sunday. Spain are playing from right to left as we look. Laporte gets the ball back from Cucurella. They've had a very settled side of Spain, particularly that back 4 as well. Porro, Kubasi, Laporte and Cucurella. Only Porro is the one who hasn't started every game, in front of Unai Simon, who rarely lets Spain down. And for France, 5 of this 11 have started now all 7 games. As Mike Maignan, all in green, has the ball at his feet in the penalty area away towards our left, and they try and beat the Spanish press with a low ball out towards Rabiot, who now runs forward, but his ball goes out of play. But already we can see the way that Spain were going to press. Guillem said it, that they'd do that, they'd go quite high up the pitch, exactly that.
Yeah, that's the way they've played all tournament. They've been brave with the press, brave on the ball. De La Fuente just wants to dominate. You think France, interesting selection on that left-hand side. Barcola ahead of Doué. I think there'll be space to hit in behind with the French when they counter-attack, and that's what Barcola has, that tremendous pace.
Spain have just given the ball away, and it was Dembele, who was being quickly crowded out as Rodri running back deep inside his own half, turns away from Elise, finds Fabian Ruiz, and Baena was back there helping out as well, and then Rodri will go back towards Unai Simon, and turned away very well from Mbappe, because Mbappe was looking to cut off the avenue away to his left, but his clearance has been picked up by a royal blue shirt. He was very cool under pressure, Unai Simon.
It was, yeah, the ball fizzed in from Rodri into him, and he took a touch and looked out to his right, Mbappe's left, and then he coolly just dragged it back on the inside and popped the ball off. Very cool from Simon.
Mbappe turns away from Rodri. Olmo and Rodri then squeeze out and snuff out any threat, and Spain quickly win the ball back in the midfield. Here is Dani Olmo with his dyed hair. The bushy-haired figure of Cucurella, of course, is always prominent, even when we're as high up as we are in this comment position in Dallas, looking a long, long way down. Oyarzabal drops deep right to the centre circle with the layoff, and now it's out towards Porro on the far side. And Lamine Yamal, you still remember that goal in Munich 2 years ago when he cut in off that right touch line and hit a terrific curling left-footed shot to be the youngest ever goal scorer in the European Championships. As Mbappe picks it up on that far side, the left, and he runs forward. But Fabian Ruiz was quickly back into position. Oyarzabal was also trying to hunt inside his own half as Tchouaméni passes the ball now to Upamecano, and Rabiot will take over with a diagonal ball. And he was looking to get it back as it bounced off the legs of Baena. And now to Dembele, strokes it on the infield by Elise, picked up by Lamine Yamal, and he runs over the halfway line, comes into a central area, still with the ball at his feet. Baena gets forward eventually on this left-hand side, as does Cucurella, and it goes back inside to Rodri.
Yeah, and a couple of times when he has got the ball, in Yamal, you can see the French doubling up Barcola. The first time when Yamal facing up Digne and then Tchouaméni. They just countered a little bit there, Spain, but Tchouaméni straight across. They understand his threat, his danger.
This is Laporte coming forward. Every outfield player now is in the France half. Baena's been caught in possession. He tries to win it back. It's been a key feature of Spain that as soon as they've lost it, they are quite aggressive to win it back as quickly as they possibly can. Laporte just leaves it now for Rodri. He's just dropped in between the two central defenders. Olmo now comes to collect it left of the centre of the circle. Still inside the Spanish half. And this is with Fabian Ruiz to Olmo, who turns away from Elise. Olmo, Rabiot is in front of him. Elise running around, doing a lot of work. But Spain are just quickly passing the ball to the across the back. This is with Laporte, comes in now to French territory. Already 5 minutes have been played, 0-0 in the early stages of this first World Cup semi-final.
And Spain keeping the ball well. The French back line are playing quite high, and Spain could do with a few runners. Oyarzabal likes to come to feet. There's Cucurella, the Spanish left back, getting forward, but here comes the counter.
Dembele passes the ball towards Mbappe. Barcola is away to the left. Also joining the attack is Luca Dean. Now he finds Barcola, who gets away from the sliding challenge, and the cutback is snuffed out by the knees of Kubasi. And it goes behind for a corner kick, but that's the threat. That's what Spain are worried about.
Absolutely, and Cucurella from the left-back position making a forward run. He was caught out. It wasn't his fault. Misplaced pass, and then France are onto the back line. And Barcola has that blistering pace. Left-hand side, left-footed cross, but Kubasi got across well.
This front four started the games against Iraq, Sweden and Paraguay, and obviously again here tonight as Elise takes the out-swinging corner kick. Good header out by Laporte. Rabiot's attempted volley has been screwed well wide by the outside of the left boot, and it goes out for a goal kick. For what is just the second World Cup meeting between the two, it's actually the 39th meeting overall, but when it was in 2006, it was France who came from behind in a last 16 encounter in Germany to win by 3-1. Goals from Ribéry, Vieira and Zidane. However, since then, Spain have very much had the upper hand, winning 2 of the subsequent 10 meetings. Who will win this latest encounter? 0-0. Here in Dallas, 6.5 minutes played. Maignan, the goalkeeper, away towards our left. Looks for the head of Barcola, beaten in the air by Porro. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, well, you weren't listening to Didier Deschamps' presser, were you? Because he said that this French team have gone up a level since then. They're a different team. The past is the past, and they have excelled, haven't they, in those forward areas of this World Cup. Mbappe 8 goals, Dembele 5, Elise 5 assists, and here they come.
Koundé, the right back, infield to Dembele. Got a lucky touch, able to keep the ball when he lost it. Fabian Ruiz is able to do a 360-degree turn. He runs away from Dembele. Oyarzabal has dropped inside his own half there. Actually, Olmo is now the central attacking figure.
And he'll do that a lot, Oyarzabal, but they need that threat in behind. Everything's to feet.
Ball forward, brushed off the ball was Lamine Yamal by Rabiot. Tchouaméni and Rabiot, the preferred central midfield pairing for Deschamps. That was good defending by Laporte, that cut out the forward ball by Elise that was just trying to get Mbappe away. Olmo now runs forward, almost right corner of the area. Lamine Yamal comes on the inside, gives it towards Olmo. Olmo, can he get sight of goal? No. The referee, who actually is Ivan Barton from El Salvador,
Well,
has given this a Spanish free kick.
well, was it outside the box or inside the box? That's my first thought. No, it is just outside the box. Olmo shifts the ball past Elise, and then Rabiot gets there a little bit late. Olmo with a bit of a heavy touch, but just nicks it in front of Rabiot, and Rabiot clumsily stands on Olmo's left boot. Now, this is a chance, isn't it?
Well, this definitely suits the left foot of Lamine Yamal, who's been twirling the ball in his hands. Rabiot was shown a yellow card, incidentally, for that challenge.
It's a bit harsh. I mean, it was a little bit late, but accidents happen, don't they? Yeah, it does suit a left foot, the right-hand side of the box, and it's been a case at this World Cup of Lamine, where have you been? Is he going to rock up now?
Well, in the warm-up, I noticed Baena practicing free kicks. On a couple of occasions, he struck the crossbar. He is a free kick specialist, but that would have to, if they were to take it, if he was to hit it with his right foot, then that's going to have to work a long way around the wall. There's 4 in the wall for France. Maignan is happy with the wall. Oh, what's happened here? Because the 4th official, who is Glenn Nyberg from Sweden.
So he got some spray. He's forgotten his spray, the referee. Come on, you got one job, two jobs. Remember your whistle and remember your spray.
And don't forget the cards.
And the 3 jobs.
Because you actually forgot the cards then. That's a yellow card. You forgot the cards. You only had one job. Right, the spray's there. He's been handed the spray. Baena walks up now. He does try it right-footed and into the wall. Comes up to Lamine Yamal, who clips over the cross. Deep. Flick header away by Koundé. It'll be retrieved by Fabian Ruiz. Blocked by Koundé.
In the end, the big build-up for the free kick in Baena, but it's really tame, wasn't it? Halfway up the wall.
The angle wouldn't... It had a lot to do with his right foot.
Yeah, well, yeah, you would say from that right-hand side it suits a left footer, but that was pretty hopeless.
Oh, sorry, I thought you'd finished speaking. 10.5 minutes played. France 0, Spain 0. Is it panned out the way you thought it would pan out?
I think Spain dominating the ball, but France have had a couple of moments where it's just their final ball which hasn't come off.
Rabiot picked out by Maignan. Runs forward from the goalkeeper's pass. Infield to Mbappe. Back to the French midfielder. Fair hair, ponytail. Inside now to Tchouaméni. He's left of the centre circle. This is now Upamecano. And it's France who have every outfield player in the Spain half, as Spain in those white shirts just drop off behind the ball, and now they'll try and press as Tchouaméni is in between the 2 central defenders and both the fullbacks are pushed on high. Spain have had 61% of possession so far in these opening 11 and a half minutes. Koundé is the one who's made that run forward, and Laporte sees him off quite comfortably.
Yeah, Laporte does well, gets across. I see Koundé used more as a bit of a back support behind Dembele, but getting forward there. No, I don't think Didier Deschamps and France are particularly bothered about possession. It's about how can they be the most effective, how can they nullify this Spanish attack and create opportunities for themselves.
3 of this French starting 11 play their football in Spain as the ball is headed back to Olmo, but Rabiot's having a rather effective game in that midfield for France, breaking up the play once again, hoofing the ball back towards Maignan, brought it under control. That was a loose ball in the midfield. Tchouaméni then did well to give it towards Saliba, and then Saliba with a cushion ball towards Koundé, but that could have been careless from the French.
I think the way that that Spain have pressed in this World Cup, they've been the most aggressive. I think really happy to get after the opposition, but France on 2 occasions have played through that Spanish press.
Lucas Digne running forward. Barcola passes the ball now towards Mbappe. He's 30 yards out from goal, and he tries to bring Dembele into play, but his curling ball was way ahead of Dembele, and it went straight out for a goal kick. Lucas Digne of Aston Villa, but for how much longer? Because he's in talks with Paris Saint-Germain.
Is he?
And I know exactly what you're going to say. You're going to bring up Manzambi.
No,
you are so predictable.
Didn't enter my mind, albeit you said he was off to Newcastle as he ended up at Villa.
Well, but Aston Villa hijacked the deal. I couldn't predict that. Here is Olmo, just outside the centre circle. Oyarzabal is the player who drops deep. Porro, Kubasi, Rodri able to turn, almost stumbled into Elise, but kept it with Spain. This is with Cucurella. Fabian Ruiz, who has this incredible record since he made his debut 7 years ago. So this is his 49th game for Spain. He is yet to taste defeat. As Baena almost level the area left-hand side. Still 0-0, 5 Live, also available on the World Service in Sub-Saharan Africa tonight as a late challenge comes in, and that was on Rodri.
Well, that's a worse challenge, I think, than the Rabiot one, which Rabiot got booked for. Rodri, that rudder for Spain in the midfield, pops it out right, and Elise goes to ground. He's really late, actually. I mean, how he doesn't get a card for that, that's odd refereeing.
Once again, consistency springs to mind as Fabian Ruiz knocks that free kick short towards Rodri. France have got everybody back behind the ball. Laporte just outside the centre circle goes left to Cucurella. 33 wins and 15 draws in those 48 matches for Fabian Ruiz, who's on the ball now, and he passes the ball to Baena, who stays out wide, then runs forward. On this near side, the left, cross takes a deflection, edge of the area. Elise on the half volley, lays it off towards Dembele, who looks towards Mbappe, and he finds him, and Mbappe could be in here. Spain are desperate to get back. Mbappe's still going. They have got 3 defenders back. Dembele then strokes it, edge of the area. Barcola lays it off towards Elise. Elise with the cross, charge down, corner kick. You could see the panic in the Spanish eyes, even though we're that far away, you can still see it.
Yeah, but what a counter-attack from France. And the ball from Dembele out on the right-hand side, inside his own half. Everybody can see the pass he wants to play. Can he play it 60 yards? Mbappe onto it, and eventually it's snuffed out.
Corner taken short on the left-hand side. Dembele with a cross. Stopped by Oyarzabal. Doesn't clear long. Passes the ball square towards Olmo, and then Olmo will go down the line, and Lamine Yamal unable to keep the ball in play.
Just with that attack, I think, was it Pedro Porro, I might be wrong, got back really well and put Mbappe under pressure. Nothing came from it in the end, but just sense the French happy to draw Spain onto them and then use that pace and that wizardry to get forward.
Koundé is forward now on this near right-hand side, level the area, passes the ball back. Dembele in field, laid off by Rabiot. This is Elise in a very deep area. He's had a very good World Cup, although he's still yet to score. The Hammersmith-born player as now it's with Dembele on the right corner of the area, twists one way, then goes the other, looks to go on the outside, delivers the cross. Barcola waits, controls the ball, looks for a shooting opportunity. Barcola is just nudged off the ball a fraction. France, though, still have it. Luca Dean, Tchouaméni with a cross into the area. Laporte heads the ball away, goes back to where it came from. Tchouaméni ducks underneath it. It's a France throw-in, 0-0.
Yeah, I think the first time in this game, 16, 17
cross. Barcola waits, controls the ball, looks for a shooting opportunity. Barcola is just nudged off the ball a fraction. France, though, still have it. Luca Dean, Tchouaméni with a cross into the area. Laporte heads the ball away, goes back to where it came from. Tchouaméni ducks underneath it. It's a France throw-in, 0-0.
Yeah, I think the first time in this game, 16, 17 minutes in, where France have actually pushed Spain back for a bit of a period, just controlling the ball now, coming into their own.
It is worth pointing out that Spain are on their longest run in their entire history. They're unbeaten in 36 matches since a 1-0 defeat to Colombia, which was in March 2024 in the London Stadium. Only one Euro nation has ever gone on a longer run, and that was Italy.
I was going to say that. I was going to say Italy. You didn't even give me a chance.
Okay. Do you remember when it was? Cucurella forward. I'll give you time to think. We could have a long night here, Chris, in Dallas. We could have extra time the way it's going so far. 17.5 minutes played. Laporte trundles his way forward. Olmo's ahead of him. Fabian Ruiz to his left. Fabian Ruiz now slides it into the path of Cucurella. The weight of the pass just wasn't good enough for Cucurella. It was always racing away from him. Goal kick, 18 minutes played, 0-0.
And that's where the Spanish from their fullbacks, that's where they're getting the movement in behind. But Upamecano, big, strong, strapping French centre-half getting across and shoulder to shoulder with Cucurella. There's only one winner there.
It wasn't that long ago, actually, that run for Italy. It was October 2018 to September 21. Here is Koundé. Blocked by Cucurella. Good block as well. You could hear the slap off the thigh as it went out. And now it is with Upamecano to Saliba. Central position at the heart of the French defence, and he goes out towards Luca Dean on that far side. BBC Radio 5 Live, still 0-0. Earlier, England against India, the first of the three-match one-day international series at Edgbaston. England 258, but India 262 for 4, so they won by 6 wickets. And the next coverage will be at the Oval on Thursday, 12:45 in the afternoon on Sports Extra for that second match in that one-day series. As Olmo for Spain, 0-0 here on 5 Live, 19 minutes played. Laporte now will come forward with the ball, and he's over the halfway line. Cucurella keeps the ball in play, good control, crosses, hangs in the air, over the head of Oyarzabal. Awkward though for Luca Dean, penalty, and he's fouled Lamine Yamal. It was an awkward one. He was never in full control of the ball. Lamine Yamal came in from behind, and Spain have been awarded a penalty.
What I would say, there's not much of a protest, is there, from Dean? Ball crossed in from the left. It's overhead, it bounces, and then, oh, blimey, Dean pops a little header up and then goes to volley the ball with his left foot, and he just volleys. You mean Yamal high up on his hip. It's an absolute stone wall penalty. Daft from Dean, wasn't it? Wild, reckless, and what a chance for Spain. Just a bit of brain freeze there. He heads the ball up. He's just totally unaware of Yamal.
Kylian Mbappe has just approached the El Salvadorian referee to have a word. VAR naturally will be having a check of this.
What is there to check? I mean, he's halved him around his hip.
There is still a delay. The ball has now been tossed away. What's he doing here? Has he changed his mind without going to the screen? He's just thrown the ball away as if it's to say it's a...
What's the protest about?
He's blown his whistle. He's surrounded by 4 blue shirts, Olmo and Fabian Ruiz.
I think he's just saying, come on.
He's tossed the ball away because I don't think he's happy with the pressure of the ball, because a ball boy has actually gone and taken that ball away, and we've got another one on the pitch now as well. So after a little bit of confusion, the El Salvadorian referee is now telling Mike Maignan to get back on his goal line, which he's still not doing. And this is Oyarzabal, who's scored 4 goals already from the penalty spot. Mikel Oyarzabal up against Maignan. Waits, the referee gives him the go-ahead, and Oyarzabal scores. Left-footed, Maignan dived the right way, went to the right-hand side. Spain take the lead. Advantage Spain. And Dean's error is a very costly one for France. Spain 1, France 0.
Brilliant penalty from Oyarzabal, lashed in with his left foot. Boy, did he mean that. Maignan goes the right way, but it's thumped halfway up into the corner to Maignan's left-hand side. Slow run up, and then lashed. It's a brilliant penalty under pressure. And Spain lead, and you have to say, on the balance of play, you say deservedly so, but wild from Luca Dean, and France will have to recover.
That is 18 goals now for Oyarzabal in his 19th start, or his last 19 starts, as Elise hits a very ambitious ball out downside, and Cucurella takes it. I think the idea for France was to go and press from the throw, but Cucurella had read it, and they took a quick one, and now it goes out for another Spain throw on this near side. He gave him no chance, did he? There was such a pace on the penalty kick from Oyarzabal. after the game.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That could be one of the biggest 606s ever.
Biggest ever. Just imagine if England can sneak past Argentina. Possibility, isn't it?
If that was a possibility, you're then looking at the possibility of a rerun of the Euro 2024 final in Berlin, in New Jersey on Sunday. But there's a lot to unfold before then as France pick the ball up as the game resumes. They're trailing by a goal to nil. This is Mbappe. Turning, diagonal ball, Rabiot just turns it around towards Dean, who joins the attack on that far side from left back. Tchouaméni passes the ball towards Dean, but it's intercepted by Porro. Lamine Yamal, I think, almost got in his own way of the right back there, and France have quickly gone across and put the ball out of play for a throw. 27 minutes played, 1-0 Spain.
And the question is how are France going to respond? They were happy to sit in a mid block and a low block and counter attack. They're going to have to be more on the front foot and take the game to Spain.
Kubasi with a challenge on Mbappe. The referee, though, says it's just gone out of play for a throw. He reacted very, very quickly, did Kubasi. I mean, we talk about Lamine Yamal, who was only 19 yesterday. Kubasi, he turned 19 back in January. But, I mean, they've got two extremely talented teenagers in this Spanish side.
They haven't. Clattered into Mbappe, didn't he? Mbappe, he had an ankle injury, didn't he? So he came off in the last game with, and certainly got into him there, and Saliba's just gone down, and that's as innocuous as anything, under no pressure. He sat down, and that may be the end of his World Cup.
Yes. Now, it'll be interesting to see who replaces him, because I was always led to believe that Konate was seen as, or perceived as, the third centre-back, but Lacroix actually started ahead of Konate in that match against Norway in Boston. But you're right, he just inside his half, he's left of the centre circle, the ball at his feet, and then he just decides to go down. So that is never a good sign.
No, wasn't under great pressure at all, and just turned round, sat on the deck, and yeah, he's on his feet now and walking off. Yeah, that'll be a massive disappointment to him, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see the change Didier Deschamps makes.
Saliba unable to continue, and once again injury wreaks havoc with his own World Cup dreams. He managed only 28 minutes at the World Cup in 2022, and he looks quite emotional as he is led off the pitch, and very hard to see who is going to be coming on, but it is going to be Lacroix. So for Konate, who's only had 14 minutes of action against Norway in the group stages, the Crystal Palace defender comes on to replace the title winner from Arsenal. Maxence Lacroix is on.
It's an interesting call, isn't it? Lacroix over Konate. Bit of a, should we say, Le Custard Pie for Konate there?
Certainly, I don't think it's a show of confidence in him from Didier Deschamps. Konate, who has left Liverpool and has joined Real Madrid. Half an hour played. France then forced into a change as they're behind. Still, Unai Simon hasn't been tested, as Cucurella is shown a yellow card.
It's just stupidity. He always does it, doesn't he, Cucurella? Gets involved. He's like really strong with the challenge. There's a little pull of the hair from Elise on Cucurella. He's got the look of a musketeer, hasn't he, Cucurella, actually? And then he thunders into Elise, gets a yellow, and a chance now for Spain to throw a ball into the Spanish box.
Free kick then, midway through the Spain half, near side the right, just a couple of feet in from the touchline. Dembele right down the throat of Unai Simon.
He's been quiet, hasn't he, Dembele, and he doesn't deliver there from across. You know, I've got to say, we all bigged up France before the game about their brilliant attackers, but at this moment in time, they haven't rocked up at all.
No, they haven't. I'd be tempted, though, to get the ball out to this near side and test the discipline and patience of Cucurella now that he's on a yellow card.
Even the other side, they haven't got the ball out to Barcola, I wouldn't say Pedro Porro. You know, we all regard him as a top defender in 1v1 situations.
That penalty, incidentally, for Oyarzabal. He becomes the 6th player to reach 30 goals now for Spain. Not bad company: David Villa, Raul, Fernando Torres, Alvaro Morata and David Silva. With his 5th goal of the tournament, after he'd scored 2 against Saudi Arabia and 2 against Austria. Baena in a central area, bites into the challenge, but Rabiot comes away with the ball. Then they give it away, and it's played back towards Laporte, just outside the centre circle. This is what Spain do. They control games. They restrict the opposition to few opportunities. You know, to face 7 shots in the 6 previous games to reach a semi-final of a World Cup is excellent control. Olmo to Cucurella, tried for the early cutback. Olmo tries to get there, but is beaten to it by Koundé, helped out by Upamecano on this near side.
They're just grinding France down with the ball, aren't they?
Cucurella passes the ball back. Rodri now with Laporte. Diagonal forward ball. Fabian Ruiz runs now into an area of space. Offloads it towards Olmo. Olmo with a shot. And it was a wayward effort. Right-footed, 30 yards out from goal. Just went climbing on a diagonal trajectory and into the sponsors area behind that goal of Mike Maignan. 1-0.
They've got overloads everywhere. Spain, and Rabiot, the French midfielder, trying to rally his troops and get his team going. Haven't been slick enough, good enough on the ball.
Looking for Elise, cut out though by Kubasi. Read it well. This is Oyarzabal.
Just forcing things, the French. Dembele on the drift from the right to the centre of the pitch. They're on the half-turn, but wasn't quite on to find Elise.
Ball goes long over the top. Baena, flag stays down. Baena caught by Maignan. Now it's a late flag. He tried to knock it goalwards, but it was a late flag anyway. And it'll be a free kick. But it was a good distribution, good spot by Unai Simon to go long, just to mix things up a little bit. Good variation.
Yeah, as I said, I don't think that Spain have... Those forwards have run in behind enough and given the French defenders enough to worry about, but that was a high line, long ball from the keeper, but slightly offside.
Didier Deschamps, rather pensive-looking French manager, as today his 25th match in charge of a World Cup game. He equals the record of Helmut Schön, who, the former West Germany manager, is in the midway point. They go long with a punt downfield by Fabian Ruiz. They're saying that Baena was knocked to the ground and there was a foul, but the referee from El Salvador's not having any of that, Mr. Barton. And now it's with Koundé, the right back. Little layoff, short, square. Chouameni, right side of the centre circle. Now finds Lacroix, the substitute for the injured Saliba. With 10 minutes to go to half-time on BBC Radio 5 Live. And we're with you through until 11 o'clock tonight before John Jansen takes over. And we will be hearing from the England camp as well before we come off the air this evening at 11 for 5 Live Sport, as John Murray will be speaking to the England manager Thomas Tuchel. Dembele, that was a nice turn. Passes the ball out wide to Barcola. Barcola now coming in off the left touchline, left corner of the area. Barcola waits. Barcola still goes. And it's a right-footed effort that was off target. Goal kick. Spain still lead France by a 1-0.
Yeah, Dembele just found himself centrally there. Lovely turn, letting the ball run across his body. Out left to Barcola. Little double shift on the inside under pressure from Rodri. See what he's trying to do. He's trying to find that far top corner with his right foot, 22 yards out. A little bit better from the French.
Nice little touch with a flick by Oyarzabal. Olmo's forward ball to Fabian Ruiz. They've got two on this near side, the left. Cucurella now finds Baena running forward and coming off the touchline. Cucurella has stayed out wide on the left. Fabian Ruiz doesn't go back that way. He runs with the ball and then accelerates 30 yards out from goal. Olmo gets it out from underneath his feet, runs into trouble. Fabian Ruiz, though, is able to get it towards Porro. Sits for Porro, dipping effort, right-footed off target. Goal kick, Spain still lead.
Really lazy from Elise there. Fabian Ruiz just the freedom in that final third, and he tinks a ball out to Porro. Takes it on his chest, one bounce and thundered from 25 yards over the crossbar, but lazy there from Elise.
The goal kick was taken short. Maignan almost caught in possession. It was a hurried clearance, only as far as Baena. He now finds Rodri. Rodri to Lamine Yamal, links up with Olmo. Delightful ball back, the cutback. Oh! Fabian Ruiz so close. He couldn't squeeze the ball in from about 6 yards out. That was so slick. It was bordering on the outrageous. The little interplay between Olmo and Lamine Yamal.
It's brilliantly worked. Maignan with the poor clearance. Baena picks it up, pops it to Rodri. Quick 1-2 on the outside, and Ruiz gets across Upamecano. I've got to say, that's as good as a goal, that from Upamecano. That block, that keeps France but only a goal down. Had Spain got a second, that would have been a long way back.
Spain leading by a goal to nil. Corner kick, right-hand side. In it comes now. Headed up by Lacroix, but not away. It drops inside the area, off the head of Rabiot, picked up by Fabian Ruiz. He now delivers the cross from the left-hand side. Baena's going to race after that and does exceptionally well to keep the ball in play. Lamine Yamal now, right-hand side level the area. He's got to get past two French players. He bursts into the box. And the referee says a goal kick.
Doubled up Barcola and Nucadinha, and Mal just popping it around Nucadinha and trying to get the other side. Really quick feet from him. He's saying Digne dived. The referee wasn't having any of it though.
This is Maignan. Clears downfield over the head of Koundé. He tried to float that flat ball forward, the goalkeeper. Cucurella has cleared it. Chris, tell me, how do France wrestle away the control of Spain?
Well, they've got to beat that Spanish press first and foremost. I think there's a strong challenge from Rodri. They need to be braver on the ball in the middle of the park. That's what they need to be. Tchouameni hasn't got to the pace of the game. I think Rabiot's done okay. You see Dembele now. He started on that right-hand side. He's on the drift, but then they're trying to force passes. Need to try and keep possession for a period. But Spain are pressing them. They're the more aggressive team. And Mbappe, brilliant World Cup which he's had, he's offside there, I think.
Yep. Flag is up.
But you think about how impotent he has been in this first half. He's barely had a touch of the ball, and that's a testament to the way that Spain have played. They've kept the ball, they've been slick, they've been silky. The French have been filleted, really, this opening 40 minutes.
Ball goes back. Unai Simon comes out of his penalty area, clears it. Koundé tries to hit it into a central area, but then on the half volley, Rodri was mopping up in front of that back four for Spain, who still have the slender lead. It's hit by Upamecano. It's a forward ball that goes towards the feet of Mbappe, and then again a late flag.
That was a closer one than the one before. I mean, I don't need to tell you, we all know how quick Kylian Mbappe is. This is really tight. Not so sure he is offside. Upamecano space in behind. And France maybe haven't done that enough. Stretched the Spanish centre-halves, Laporte and Kabassi.
I thought your former Chelsea teammate Frank Leboeuf ahead of kickoff offered great insight on 5 Live when we had him for about 20 minutes, and I've got to say I agree with him that I think Kone has got to feel a little bit hard done by that he's been replaced by Tchouameni, who's come back into the side after missing those 2 games with a thigh injury, because in his absence I thought Kone played well.
Yeah, well, he struggled to get to the pace of the game, hasn't he? Tchouameni looks a yard off it. The interesting half-time, will Didier Deschamps make a change or to, because the French certainly haven't fired.
This is Rodri. Passes the ball into the centre circle for Fabian Ruiz, who looks for a diagonal ball to test Dean. And it was on this occasion, as it reared up, bouncing off the turf, headed back by Luca Dean. But it was that awkward cross in how he conceded the penalty by chopping down Yamal, and the penalty that was converted by Oyarzabal. Rabiot looks for Mbappe. Unai Simon did ever so well. That was Neuer-like, because his anticipation was perfect. His starting position as a goalkeeper, he was halfway there, but from the quick throw, Mbappe's snuffed out by Kubasi, and they concede a corner kick.
Yeah, signs though from the French. I wondered whether he was offside. Again, good touch from Barcola. And Mbappe gets the other side of Kubasi, who's marking channel side. You're right, Unai Simon does so well, because Mbappe is rapid. He goes to ground but wins the ball, does the Spanish goalkeeper.
Corner kick for France, looking for an equaliser. Elise to take it far side the left. It curls, it drops, it comes to the edge of the area. Koundé chips the ball back in. Headed up by Rodri. The goalkeeper gets into a little bit of a mess with Kubasi. And Laporte has gone down. He's holding his head. The referee has stopped play. And now Kubasi and Unai Simon have a little bit of an embrace after that little bit of a mix-up, as Usain Bolt is in the house and gets a great viewing on the giant screen, and gives everybody in this enormous stadium here in Dallas, over 70,500 people, they give him a huge cheer as well. 1-0 to Spain.
Yeah, he was quite quick, wasn't he, back in his day? Bolt, but it was actually Oyarzabal and Simon coming together. Centre forward not taking any chances.
Dembele edge of the area, pokes it in field. He was caught late. The referee gives a direct free kick. He is surrounded by furious Spanish players. Rodri, in a forceful manner, is walking after him to give his feelings. Oyarzabal likewise as well. This is certainly within shooting distance.
It's not a free kick. It is absolutely not a free kick. Fabian Ruiz enraged, and quite rightly so. Dembele overruns the ball, pops it out to a Spanish player. He should be booked for this. And I wonder whether they have overturned it now. Laporte, Fabian Ruiz around the referee. He's thrown himself to the floor. That's what he's done.
And now Didier Deschamps is questioning the fourth official.
What's going on there? He's given a drop ball there.
He gave the free kick. That'll be VAR. They said they wouldn't re-referee. VAR re-referees, fact.
Well, give him a yellow card then.
Here is Cucurella forward. Cucurella then cuts the cross in low, stopped by the heels of Tchouaméni. We're inside the last 60 seconds of this first half. This is Elise. But Spain are working so hard off the ball. That was Baena, doing ever so well. The back pass, though, was a little sloppy, but Laporte was covering. Fabian Ruiz finds Oyarzabal inside that centre circle. Linking up now with Fabian Ruiz and Rodri to Kubasi at the heart of the Spanish defence. Porro provides the width, far side the right, into the feet of Lamine Yamal, throws himself forward. Referee says no free kick. Play continues. Spain with the olays from the Spanish crowd. That was late by Rabiot, who's on a yellow card.
That should be a second yellow for Rabiot. He should never have had a first yellow. But that, I mean, he's as late as you can be. I mean, that's a crazy challenge for somebody on a yellow card. It really is reckless. Rabiot. Blimey.
A risky Rabiot.
Yeah, risky and reckless Rabiot.
1-0 Spain. 6 minutes of stoppage time that we're in the first half here on 5 Live. Upamecano with the breaking up the attack. Elise comes out wide on this near side, the French right, as they play from left to right, infield to Dembele. Dembele's ball was poor. Went straight towards Baena. He's fouled from behind by Koundé. That'll be a free kick. That was a blatant push from behind. Although this referee, Ivan Barton from El Salvador, he was the one who showed the red card to Almiron when Paraguay played played Turkey.
You said that's a blatant push. It's barely a touch, and Baena does what a lot of players do when they're running back towards their own goal. Slightest touch, they go to ground. But the French haven't found any fluency, have they, in that final third? Dembele has been a massive disappointment. Elise, again, we bigged them up, we talked them up. Can they rock up in the second half and start combining and connecting?
The French are floundering. And they're frustrating their supporters as well as we're into stoppage time here. This is Koundé running forward, right-hand side, delivers a great cross in. It whistled past Mbappe. Kept in play on the far side by Barcola, springs back off the advertising hoardings into a central area. Dembele gets a touch. Tchouaméni gives it back towards Dembele, who somehow passes the ball out towards Dean. Rabiot then with the cross. Koundé tries to attack it, and another late flag.
I think it's offside. Rabiot, a couple of yards offside. Just too keen there, Rabiot, to get in. Just watching that Koundé cross again. Oh, I tell you. Mbappe's got the run. Kubasi, a centre-half, has got that pace, gets across him. He's only a yard and a half off that. Brilliant from Koundé on the right-hand side. Whipped that across. That's Unai Simon trying to think of a significant save which he's had to make.
Simon?
Yeah.
I don't think he has.
No, exactly, yeah. That's why I was trying to think of one.
Here he is, all in yellow, and he's going to take a free kick for Spain as they still lead by a goal to nil, and he goes long. It's a bouncing ball, and Lamine Yamal gets round the back of Dean, but Dean recovers and then pops the ball forward towards Rabiot. An audacious little flick by the French midfielder. And then Rodri with his ball inside is intercepted by the head of Rabiot, but Laporte did well, coming across. And that was a no-nonsense aerial duel that was won by Laporte.
Yeah, but that was massive, that challenge, in and around the halfway line. Rabiot had got the other side of the Spanish midfield. 3 French players around Laporte, but a towering header.
Sloppy ball out from the back by Unai Simon. It bypassed Fabian Ruiz. It allowed Tchouaméni to get onto the ball. And here he is as he collects this ball back inside from Elise. Every outfield player now of the Royal Blue of France is in the half away towards our right. They're trailing by a goal to nil. The side who are ranked #1 in the world. This is Lacroix, the substitute. Tchouaméni again dropping deep. Koundé, challenge, side down by Baena.
I'll say it again, Ian. Best team on the ball, best team out of possession, Spain. That's a bit of a wild challenge from Baena, but they are working so hard out of possession.
This is Dembele, unable to breathe, quickly crowded out, loses possession. Porro chips it down towards Olmo. Lovely first touch, able to turn, almost on a sixpence. And then the ball is passed back to Kubasi and the teenage central defender to Unai Simon, who will hit it left-footed towards Baena, but Koundé has read that. And he gets in front of his man to head it in field, but Baena coming back helps get it back towards Spain. Laporte couldn't take any chances because of Dembele's presence, hits it long. Oyarzabal against Upamecano, who knocks it back to Maignan, peels away, and then becomes an outlet to collect the ball then from Lacroix, and now it's with the right-back Koundé. That's a sharp turn by Elise on this near side, but then overran it. Haven't seen enough of that from Elise.
The assistants awarded a throw-in to France, and Cucurella, he's on a yellow as well, isn't he?
He is.
He's running down in the face of the assistant there. Seen that once or twice in the Premier League with Chelsea.
John Murray and Paul Robinson will have the same problem tomorrow in Atlanta, but our commentary positions in some of these stadiums, you don't get to see the near touchline. As Mbappe collects it, Mbappe tries to weave his way into the penalty area, comes out towards Dean. He tries to chip it, block comes in from the body of Rodri, rebounds out of play for a throw on the far side. We've got 20 seconds remaining of this first half. The 6 minutes of stoppage time. Kelly Cates presenting from inside the stadium here on 5 Live with us. France 0, Spain 1. Lacroix, is there time for them to test Simon? Koundé passes the ball out wide. Elise, who's stayed on the right-hand side, now links up with Dembele. Dembele runs forward, and Dembele screws it well off target, goal kick. I think Elise has to go central. In the opening game against Senegal, he started on the right-hand side. It was a poor first half from France in New Jersey as the half-time whistle sounds. They only got better.
JD, I don't know where you sit on the English national team. I don't know if you believe in this group outside of these two players, because you should, or you think they're going to win, or you don't think it's coming home. Is it? Yeah, like, I don't know where you sit with this team. I'm amazed at the discourse around this English side, because I agree with you, right? For me, it's been an underachieving English national team for a long time with regards to winning trophies. I agree with you, because you said, I don't know if you said it on air earlier or we said it production meeting, when you get to the semifinal of a competition, anything can happen. Anything can happen with you can pick any. We're going to do picks today, tomorrow, Sunday, but you may as well flip a coin with all of these
at this
teams.
stage, yeah.
Right. But they haven't been able to get over the line, and that's the part that surprises me about England for so many years. I go back to 2020. I loved, of course, Italy won the Euros, right? My second country. But this was a better team than I thought Italy would. But they couldn't get over the line. I wonder now if they can get over the line with this group. But I love the fact, everyone keeps talking about Thomas Tuchel in his quotes after the game. It wasn't good enough. I was like, I'm watching him. It's incredible what they've done. They've been able to grind out games. You go to Azteca in the way that they were grinding out that game, and the moves that he made to put defenders on the field. Like, that is how you win. The expectation to think that every game is going to be beautiful. I listened to Grella the other day sit right around here, right, and say, oh, this team doesn't know how to play football. That's how you win football games sometimes.
It is.
It's not pretty all the time. You just have to find a way to win. It's knockout football.
So let me tell you what's different about this team, the other teams that I've seen. All of those great achievements we saw from Gareth Southgate and the way that he's led this nation and pretty much connected the country again to football as a unified nation was fantastic. But I almost called that was setting the plate. Right now, we're in the middle of this
So
mill.
2018 was setting the standard.
That was setting the plate.
Okay.
That was the remix of we dealt with the golden generation that didn't even get along. The Lampards, the Beckhams, the Gerrards, who couldn't even sit together at certain camps because of their domestic rivalries. Now we're sitting here and we're talking about these players are unified. Now, what I was interested to see with England throughout this competition was their mentality going to be in the right place? The Azteca was the first test. That was the first test for me to showcase to me that the mentality was in the right place. I got glimpses against Congo when you didn't give up. I got glimpses against other teams in the group stage where we weren't playing well, but still didn't give up.
Panama's another one of those glimpses.
Fantastic.
Right? The 2-0 game.
So, but what you're going to see right now is whether or not they can go out and actually truly believe they're better than these teams. Because if you're asking me on paper, I take this England team over everybody minus France. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go out and do that, because those teams, especially France and Spain, are connected. You're going against the defending champions who have the presidents already here. These guys need to believe they're the best team in the tournament. If they do, they will win it. If they don't, it will showcase in one of these stages.
The scary thing in this match up for me is there's a DNA in Argentine footballers. The DNA is winning, right? Because I agree with you. Man for man, you would pick this English side. But there's a DNA about Argentine footballers right now that leads you to believe that they'll find any way to win games.
That's true. And
that's what they need.
I want to say one thing about that word DNA. You know who has the DNA? Jude Bellingham. I see it on and off the ball. He doesn't care who he's up against. He believes he's the best player on the pitch every time. That's the mentality you need to win a World Cup. Every time.
Yeah, I feel like we could talk about England this whole show, everyone. But we do have a huge match between England and Argentina, and one storyline to watch in this game. This next one is going to be presented by Enterprise. This tournament, every corner kick goal is your chance to win a car. So here are some corner stats between England and Argentina. They're near enough the same. They both average around 5 corners per match, getting 8 shots and scoring 3 goals from corners. Which team, boys, will likely win this corner kick battle? How important will these corners be in this upcoming semi-final?
I mean,
yeah, I don't know. You would think England has the edge with height, athleticism. You know, even the idea between the Premier League and Arsenal finding new ways to you know, be dangerous on corner kicks. But Argentina, I think the last time I saw a stat that they had scored 5 times off of set pieces. So both teams seem to be dominant in those areas. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
JD, why are you laughing?
What are you laughing
No,
about?
I'm just laughing because I'm just, you know what's so funny about when I watch corners now? Tony said it in the pre-production meeting, which we get to bring him behind the lens. The camera's always in the wrong place. I could not care about the kicker. I honestly, I don't want to see no slow-mos of
drives
Declan
me
Rice.
bonkers.
I don't want to see those. I want to see what's happening in the box. What's the jostling? What's the position like? Who's setting screens? Because it's almost, these corners are almost become like American set pieces. People are setting back screens. I see flare screens. People are curling around. Someone's free at the back stick. They're all designed. They're all done purposely.
That's why he wore his NBA shirt.
It is. It is. I understood the assignment today, and I'm just.
Elliot Anderson has understood the assignment last time too, taking that charge, that soft charge. Oh my goodness!
Take it, because you know if someone 6'4" grabs you and throws you on the ground, that's built like a linebacker, I would take it too.
Should we take a look at the starting 11s, projected starting 11s? Who we think is going to be playing in this game? I think the biggest question is how is England going to stop Messi? Tony, what do you think they're going to plan against him?
Yeah, the thing to think about, right? 3 goals in their last 4 games that they've scored, although they have conceded. How do you not give up 3 goals? Because I don't know that you can give up if you're England. They're not a high-scoring team, right? They find moments. They have found the moments in this competition. Do you want to give up 3 goals? And how do you stop? They find ways. They create ways. Think about the tying goal in their last match against Egypt for Argentina. Ball knocked down. Messi comes in and almost the impossible half-side volley, right? And the way, I mean, okay, I get it's Messi, but the whole creation of the goal came basically out of nothing, right? A long ball in the box, a knockdown. They just find ways to score goals. If you're England, can you afford to give up 3 goals? I think you're going to get goals, right? With the 12 goals that they've scored in the last 4 games, they've also given up 6, right? So you're going to find a goal or 2 in here. I don't know that you can concede 3. How do you stop Argentina from scoring 3 more?
You know what? When I see these 11s and I see them side by side, this is not no biased. Minus the goalkeeper, England should be looking at this team and feeling like we're better than everybody minus Messi. Look, I'm being dead honest. I would not take Enzo Fernandez over Jude Bellingham. I would not take Julian Alvarez over Harry Kane. I'm not even being biased because I'm English here. I'm being dead honest. When I look at this, Declan Rice is a better player than Alexis McAllister. Like, the 2 centre-halves have way more experience and showcase what they can do in a domestic league in terms of, you're talking about a Premier League champion, one of the most decorated of a generation, and he's just gone and become, and I still think he's England's best defender against Romero, who hasn't turned up for the Spurs shirt for 2 months, arguably 2 years.
But he shows up for this.
And Lautaro
Martinez. Jersey, though.
And he does.
Yeah.
And Lautaro Martinez, who I think is good sometimes and inconsistent sometimes.
Yeah.
Lautaro's on the bench.
What are we talking about?
But look, JD, just to counter, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think you've made really good points. My first question is this. Do all those 11 players believe what you just said? That's one. That, to me, is the number 1 question. You said Jude Bellingham believes he's the best player on the field whenever he comes out. I think the English national team need to come and play against Argentina and truly understand that they need to take it to them and not sit back and see what the world champions are going to try and do to them. That's one. The other one is this. I see this 11. Some things need to change. Right? You need to bench DePaul. You need to potentially bench Paredes. I think you need to put Enzo Fernandez and McAllister as the 6s. You need to put, a Simeone to get up and down on the right side, maybe a Nico Pass on the left side. You need more youth in this team. This team is aging, and I don't think that this team can get it done unless those guys believe that they can. Yeah.
So you want to see Scaloni use his bench more?
I think he needs to.
Okay.
I think this team can't get it done. It's too old and too tired.
Okay, then everyone. Well,
a lot of people have been saying that, Hannah.
Yeah. If you want to put some bets on for this game, we're going to be bringing in Mackenzie Brooks, our betting expert here at CBS Sports. Mackenzie,
get out of the way. It's
she's
my
like,
segment.
Tony, get out of the way.
She's got her own graphic. Okay,
This is my segment. Get out of the way.
Get graphics.
What bets have you got for us then in this game, England v Argentina, Kenzie?
It's funny you guys mentioned the corners because I'm actually going to be betting on corners in this game, which isn't something I typically do. Now, the first half of this parlay is going to be a goal in the first half. Typically, it is an Argentina goal, but in every single World Cup game for Argentina, there has been a goal in the first half. They've conceded very few. Most of the time, it is them. But again, that gives us the insurance in case it is England. We can still hit that. And then Argentina over 2.5 corners. Again, you mentioned they're averaging around 5 through the World Cup, averaging 7 in their last 4 games here. So obviously we're buying low, obviously tougher competition than what you're seeing in the group stage. So the 2.5 feels very, very reasonable for this Argentina team. And then we're going with Bellingham. To score or assist is plus 190, which feels too good to be true, like I'm blindly walking into a trap. I don't care. I understand it's plus 190 because they're really only implied, according to odds makers, to have a goal. It becomes plus money for over 1.5 goals for England. But any version of English success, I just feel like he has to be involved in, let alone the 4 goals he's had the past 2 games. So to score or assist at plus 190, this is a number that's been minus 130 at some parts of the group stage, right? So to get him at practically plus 200, I don't see any version of England having success without him being involved. So I'm willing to blindly walk into this trap if that's what it is. I can sleep at night losing that bet.
Boys, we like the bets.
Too good to be true usually is, though. That's what my mom always told me, so be careful with that one.
Fair.
Bellingham bet, JD?
So asking for a friend here. This one here, if you a good friend. If you put $100 down on this one, what do you get?
Almost $200.
Almost 200.
Yeah.
On Bellingham to score or assist.
Score
Correct.
or assist in the. So it's not like first half. This is the entire
this
game.
Is the whole. Listen.
Wow.
The later we get into this tournament, you're going to see it just quote unquote less likely to score goals. So everybody who was maybe minus 120 to score in group stage is now going to be like Mbappe is even money to score, right? Which is a really awesome price for a guy who keeps scoring. Same with Messi. So you're going to get these better prices, but that's because odds makers are implying you're going to see less goals and less opportunities.
Okay. Do you think there'll be more goals in this semi-final or the other one? France,
The other
Spain?
one.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount Plus.
Going to be ranking on a scale from 1 to 10. Blind rankings, by the way. Okay, so our first one is when Paraguay took on Germany in the round of 32. It was 1-1 in normal time, went to penalties, and Paraguay won 4-3, arguably the upset of the tournament. Where would this one rank in terms of 1 to 10 for you boys?
Ooh,
11? I didn't like this game.
Oh.
What?
No, this game was so boring.
Yeah,
it was
just the
Germany
upset.
played extremely poorly in this game. They didn't attack the right way. They just circled the ball around and round, and Paraguay took advantage of their one chance, and then we watched Paraguay's shithousery, as we call it.
He said 11.
And I'm surprised Germany actually came back finally in this game, only for us to see the worst penalty kick shootout.
All
So
right,
I would put
you
it at
can't
11, JD. Where are you putting it?
I mean, I actually have it valued a lot more. I have it valued a lot higher than that. I actually thought it was a proper demonstration of a Paraguayan performance. The determination, the way that they were able to shut down Germany. I actually really gave it a lot of respect from a defensive standpoint.
You enjoyed it?
I did enjoy it. And
Okay,
I
so
would
you
maybe,
rank it.
I would give it a 6. I would give it a 6 as well because you
Well,
knocked
you've
out
got
the
to meet
Germans.
Benny in the middle somewhere.
I can't believe there's
He
going to
didn't
be
even have it on scale.
There's going to be
It's
4
down
games
there.
worse than it.
Let's put it 8 then. We'll put it 8.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's already there. It's already
team.
there. We can't
Sorry,
change
team.
it now.
They can remix
It's
it.
etched.
Remix it and put it 8.
Can we change to 8 production,
Yeah, put it
please?
in 8, put it in
All right, on to our next one then. This was when Morocco took on the Netherlands in the round of 32,
That's a proper
1-1
game.
in normal time, went to 3-2 in penalties. Issa Diop equalised for Morocco in the 91st minute.
This was a top 3 game in this tournament.
And we saw blood from both teams, if I
Yeah,
remember,
this
right?
was a-
So
this was a-
Bari
yeah,
and I
this
think,
was a
I
tough
forget
game.
who on the Netherlands had his head cut. It was a war.
And also the historical context, right? And I don't like bringing this up, but obviously Justin Kluivert missed a penalty on the same day his dad, Patrick Kluivert, missed a penalty almost 30 odd years later. So this was a crazy game. This was a great, it was a really good game.
The game tying goal was,
was
if
so
I'm not mistaken, in the
physical. Yeah, it was a good
91st
game.
minute.
91st minute.
By a center back.
Yeah.
Top 4.
And then Moroccan goalkeeper was hero in the shootout as well.
4. I'm
Number
thinking 4.
Production number 4, please.
I would have put 5, but I'm okay with 4.
See, and they remixed.
All right, we moved it to 8. All right, now we got.
Right, number 4 then. All right, on to our next one. This was when Algeria took on Austria in the group stage, 3-3.
Forgot about that
Back and forth match, stoppage time goals. Each team secured the draw, sent them both through to the knockout stage.
Oy, oy, oy.
This was a late night game, I remember.
So I'm just going to preface this game with one negative aspect of it, because it was a crazy game. But we knew that before the game, a draw would send both teams through, and it ended up being a draw. So it was one of those where it was a little bit weird how it all turned out in the end. It was exciting, but I think we have to knocking a couple of pegs
I think
down.
because it's a group stage game
agree.
as well.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And I felt like the last 10 minutes, I feel like both teams were trying, but not really trying.
And then all of a sudden...
Yeah, it was like, it's like, okay, well, we kind of worked out we're both going through. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I think Mahrez was even surprised that he scored the 3-2 game, the 3-2
Should we
goal.
put this at under 10?
I think we do it 7.
7.
No.
Too low? Too high?
I think 10.
10? Well, I mean, it was better than...
Oh, okay. It's your rankings.
Yes, I think 7.
Hannah said 10. We got to put it at 9.
All right, 9.
9, please.
Hannah's involved now.
Okay, I guess it's just us three right rankings. On to our next one. This is when Brazil took on Japan in the round of 32. Brazil won 2-1. Japan held a half-time lead, but never truly pushed for a second. Brazil punished them, winning 2-1.
I liked this game.
Chris Sutton and Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Kelly. If they are to do it, however, this stat from Opta, they're going to be only the third side to have ever progressed in a World Cup semi-final after trailing at half-time. Argentina against Italy in 1990 and Croatia against England in 2018 for that semi-final that was played in Moscow in the Luzhniki Stadium. As the second half is back underway, but France have made a change. And Kone has replaced Rabiot. So Rabiot, who was on a yellow card, and also could easily have picked up a second yellow card, has been substituted. Maignan then is in goal, a back four of Koundé, Lacroix, a first-half substitute for the injured Saliba, Upamecano and Dean, who gave away the penalty. Kone and Tchouaméni now in the midfield, and a front four of Elise, Barcola, Mbappe and Dembele. Spain, in their white shirts and burgundy shorts, have Simon in goal, a back four of Porro, Kubasi, Laporte and Cucurella, Fabian Ruiz, Rodri and Olmo in the midfield, Lamine Yamal, Baena and Oyarzabal, who got that penalty midway through the first half. We are once again joined by the World Service, listening to us in Sub-Saharan Africa. So, second half of this first semi-final, France 0, Spain 1, and this is the voice of Chris Sutton.
Yeah, well, Tchouaméni can thank his lucky stars he wasn't booked in the first half, because he would have probably the one who would have got hooked. I think Rabiot had a slightly better half than him, but I think, yeah, Deschamps worried about Rabiot picking up another booking and getting a possible, well, getting a red card. That would have been the issue there, but I'm expecting to see a French team more on the front foot in this second half. It has to happen. They have to start connecting and clicking in that final third.
Here's Mbappe for France. They're playing from right to left as we look high up here in this futuristic stadium in Dallas. Looking back towards Mbappe, that was cut out well by Laporte, just stabbed the ball down into the ground, and then now Rodri tries to send Baena away on that far side of the left, but he's overhit it, and it goes out of play for a throw. Kone and Tchouaméni did start together in the game against Norway, the final group stage match, where Norway, of course, had made a whole host of changes. I think it was 10 from memory in that game in Boston, and they won by 4 goals to 1. But when he's done well, Kone, when he started, I think he's done well. He has started the last 2, started another 2 games as well. Plays for Roma. Had a hamstring injury in March, as you know, Chris, and came back for the latter stages of the Italian season to prove his fitness. But we are expecting more from this France side. And Elise, once again, who stayed on that right-hand side, tries to take the ball with him, but runs into Laporte. Laporte is having an excellent game.
He is. And Cucurella matched the run of Elise as well, but he's been a rock at the back, hasn't he, Laporte? It's can they keep it going? You know, a lot of talk about the Spanish defence. Whether you know this, 1970s, the Dallas Cowboys, their defence was called the Doomsday Defence, Ian.
Was that in 71 or 77?
Well, I think they got to 5 Super Bowls in the 70s because of their defence.
Yeah, but they only won 2 of those 5, didn't they, in 71 and 77, I think you'll find.
Bob Lilly and Randy White were my 2 favourite players of that era.
I wasn't born, so I wouldn't know. Free kick has been given. BBC Radio 5 Live. The voice of Chris Sutton, as if you didn't need reminding, is with us here in Dallas as Lacroix passes the ball to Dean. Dean quickly closed down by Lamine Yamal, but he wins that 50-50 duel and then falls to the floor far too easily. And the referee quite rightly says, get back to your feet. Too soft. Here is Lamine Yamal on the right for Spain. Porro Passes the ball short and back along the ground towards Rodri. Laporte able to control it outside the centre circle of his own half. And then Kubasi finds Porro once again. Oyarzabal comes short to collect, links up with Lamine Yamal. He goes to ground. Referee says no foul. This is Kone now. Finds Elise. Elise starting to drift a little bit now, as Mbappe almost got Barcola away, but there was a good interception, and Fabian Ruiz does well, uses his strength. Good close control. Rodri manages somehow to, a little bit off balance, hack the ball out towards Baena, who with a switch of play bounces a couple of times. That was a coming together between Oyarzabal and Lacroix. The referee has given a free kick in favour of Spain. Almost on the halfway line, they lead by a goal to nil.
Did he, Deschamps? Bewildered with that decision. The ball wasn't anywhere near Oyarzabal. There's a bit of a shove in the back from Lacroix. Spain were in possession anyway. I'm just seeing that Yamal won. Barcola stands on his foot. He's unfortunate not to get a free kick for that. The referee's let a fair few go, though, hasn't he?
He has. Yeah, it's been, I would say, a bit of an inconsistent performance so far from Ivan Barton of El Salvador. Ball over the top. Lamine Yamal latches onto it. Lamine Yamal running forwards. The ball wouldn't come down for him, and he was running out of playing surface, and the angle was extremely tight. And in the end, he just couldn't get that telling touch, and he was in fact offside.
Yeah, he was. He was a couple of yards offside, but he takes a poor second touch. Good first touch, poor second touch. The ball got away from him. He's not the same player, is he? Hasn't been at this World Cup.
He offloads the ball to Fabian Ruiz, but the French side are pressing, and Fabian Ruiz again had to tidy up there in the midfield with a long back pass towards Unai Simon, who chips it out over the head of Olmo, headed forward by Dean, but well read by Porro, stepping out of defence to get that ball, now with Olmo. Lamine Yamal is just to his right-hand side. Rodri never looks phased, even when he's being closed down. And Fabian Ruiz, and they work it across to Cucurella, and there's a bit more space now for Spain to come forward. And Cucurella has Baena out to his left-hand side, and here is the Atletico Madrid player. Baena on the inside, passes the ball now. Oyarzabal with the flick, didn't come off, but he still has the ball. He might create a shooting opportunity, and off his left boot. It was off target, goal kick, but Spain is still ahead 1-0.
Yeah, wry smile on Oyarzabal's face. We got lucky actually, because tried a little flick back to Baena, and the ball fell for him, fortunately, but you don't want to give him too many shooting chances from 18, 19 yards. Not that far away, already got his goal.
Coming into this game, they had 47 shots on target. It was the most for France at a World Cup since they had 53 in 1998, when, of course, they won the World Cup. But at the minute, it is Spain who are coming out on top, because they haven't managed one shot on target as yet.
And that's incredible. You think eventually they will get a chance with the quality of their front line. When it does come their way, they've got to make sure that they're ruthless.
Mind you, that said, Spain have only had one shot on target, and the penalty they scored from it, and they lead by a goal to nil as Lamine Yamal runs away from Dean, who's struggling to keep up with him, and Lamine Yamal continues on an inside diagonal track, but Barcola did ever so well to help out his left back, as that back pass had Maignan scrambling.
What is Upamecano doing there? Blind back pass. Fortunately for Upamecano, it was off target, but Maignan is having a look at his left hip. He got back and scrambled to safety.
Talking of Maignan scrambling, France is scrambling for ideas at the moment, because they've been completely nullified by this Spanish side, who are leading by a goal to nil. We're 8 minutes into the second half. BBC Radio 5 Live, available on the BBC Sounds app and also on the World Service in Sub-Saharan Africa. Elise, central, by far his best position. Out towards Dean, the left side back on this near side, the left. Now towards Barcola, level the area. Elise's continued his run, getting more involved. The back pass towards Barcola. The little flick inside towards Mbappe. He wriggles clear. It breaks back towards Kone. Chouameni passes the ball. Koundé now joins the attack. And he goes short. Ball passed forward. He's had a change of boots as Dembele. He was wearing yellow boots in the first half. He's gone for a bright orange pair in the second.
Yeah, I just hope he's put them on the right feet, but it didn't look like it with that pass. He's had an absolute stinker, hasn't he, Dembele? I can't remember him ever playing as poorly as this.
Lacroix cuts out the forward ball towards Oyarzabal. Elise had to stretch into the challenge not once but twice. He's only now getting back to his feet. France have the ball. Upamecano in the centre circle. Out towards Koundé. There seems to be a little bit more urgency, more purpose about France in this second period. But Baena has robbed the right back of the ball, and then France win it back with Upamecano to Elise. Out towards Barcola. Barcola left-hand side of the area. Looks to go on the outside of Porro. Unai Simon was quickly off his goal line and slides and gathers low.
Sharp Seaman there. Did really well. Barcola driving on the outside of Pedro Porro. I say did really well. Took a heavy second touch. He's been alert, hasn't he? Seaman on a couple of occasions off his line to good effect.
Fourth most capped goalkeeper for Spain. France are looking at making another change. They do have 2 more opportunities to bring on 3 more players in this second half. It looks like Doué is going to be coming on as Kone, a half-time substitute. That was cut out by Fabian Ruiz, and it goes back to Simon. He tells his defenders to split. He picks the ball up, and he then wonders where he's going to roll it out to, and he just rolls it towards Kubasi, who along the ground finds Olmo, dropping off into space for Spain, playing from left to right and still leading by a goal to nil. That was sharp by Oyarzabal, nudges it towards Yamal, lays it off, gets it back then from Olmo, passes the ball back in field. It could open up on that far side, the left. And this is Fabian Ruiz with a cross that is going to arc its way out for a goal kick.
So some of the football that the Spanish is absolutely sensational. Return from Oyarzabal and then pinging some one-touch passes around, and you can maybe hear the cheers with inside the stadium. Barcola off. Doué on that left-hand side for France. Can Doué be the difference? Can he make the difference? Didier Deschamps' team. Different type of player, isn't he, to Barcola? More of a dribbler.
He's featured now in all 7 matches. He started the games against Norway and Morocco. 4 substitute appearances, and we make that 5 now for Doué, who scored in the group stages against Norway. But they need a little bit of fresh impetus in that faltering front 4. 12 minutes into the second half, and Spain are still leading by a goal to nil. They have progressed from 6 of 7 semi-finals at major tournaments. Their only elimination was in the 2020 Euros, losing to Italy on penalties. As Olmo runs forward and has got space to run into, and Olmo's still going. Baena, left corner of the area. Oyarzabal waits, Baena shoots into the knees of Koundé, comes back towards Rodri. Rodri chips it, headed out by Dean, who was tucked in the left back for France. Fabian Ruiz takes over for Spain. This now is with Porro 30 yards out from goal. Porro runs forward to Olmo, back towards Porro. Porro is in! Porro scores! Brilliant goal by Spain! Absolutely superb! The layoff by Olmo! They unlock the French defence! And Spain now lead by 2 goals to nil! And the European champions are on course for the World Cup final in New Jersey.
Well, it's stunning from Spain. They're making the French look like fools, popping the ball around them. They built superbly from the back, and Pedro Porro, what a World Cup he is having. Tremendous game. He's sitting down on the turf now, taking all the acclaim, but they build so well, and it's a pass and follow from Porro. And it opens up left hand, or the right hand side of the box. Little give and go with Dani Olmo, and Porro runs through unopposed, and he has to stay calm with the finish. Layoff perfect from Olmo. 2 quick touches. Mike Maignan comes out, narrows the angle, but Porro has a little look up, stays composed, beats him at his near post. It is a composed finish, and Spain are giving France a footballing lesson.
It's his second goal of the tournament. You might recall he scored with a header against Austria. Spain have a stranglehold now in this game in Dallas, as Elise tries to poke the ball forward for Mbappe. They haven't clicked. That front four haven't clicked. Spain haven't allowed them to click. Oyarzabal, Fabian Ruiz forward ball, he overhits it.
Yeah, and look, the focus will be on the French front four, but you've got to question that the French midfielders, the feeders into that front four. Tchouameni, we see Kone there. You could argue that the likes of Elise and Mbappe haven't had the service. Ooh, just a moment there, old Bigfoot. Oyarzabal looked like he was in from a poor pass from Tchouameni. Short back pass.
All I would say, and we referenced it earlier with Guillem, when they met in the Nations League semi-final last June, Spain at one point were 4-0 up. In fact, they were leading 4-1 with 11 minutes to go. And then at the end, they were absolutely hanging on. They won in the end by 5-4. In fact, they were 5-1 up with 11 minutes to go. And then Cherki, an own goal from Vivian, and a Kolo Muani goal, scored 3 goals in 11 minutes. Lamine Yamal round the back of Dean. Lamine Yamal is in here. Lamine Yamal steadies himself and scores! Here, the flag is up, it will not count. And the celebrations are cut short. Lamine Yamal with a wag of the finger says no. VAR will have a look at it. Spain thought they'd scored a 3rd goal, but already play is back underway. Not even shown on the giant screen here in Dallas. Boos from the Spanish supporters, boos from the supporters of Lamine Yamal. That surely would have been game over for France.
Oh, absolutely. Lucadinha really lucky there. There was space in behind, and Lamine Yamal just went a little bit early. Oh, do you know what? It's so tight. It's so tight. It's millimetres. He does brilliantly to finish it, chops back on the inside, and a finish with a lovely left foot of his. But is that a game changer? That moment, will that liven the French up?
Well, it's certainly a let-off for France, because 3-0 up, that would really be a tall order, even with this frightening and expensive front line, as they are shown that is tight. Lamine Yamal with his right shoulder leaning forward against Dean, as it's shown on the graphic and the giant screens here in this very impressive stadium in Dallas. 5 Live, BBC Sounds and the World Service. Spain, though, now with that second goal, are looking to come forward with Cucurella. They're not sitting back here. They're taking the game still to France. Olmo back towards Rodri, still in full control, Spain. This is Fabian Ruiz, left of the centre circle. Didier Deschamps, this would be his final game in charge of France. He's leaving after being in post for 14 years. He was looking to guide them to a 3rd successive World Cup final. He said that they'd gone to another level.
Yeah.
They haven't found that level.
Good question which level that is, whether, based on this performance, that level is going down, but they have been mauled, France, in the middle of the Parc de la Fuente, saying that the Spanish had the best midfield at this World Cup, and I tell you what, based on this display, you cannot argue with that.
Fabian Ruiz has done ever so well in the midfield earlier. He's one of my favourite players, actually, at the Euros 2 years ago in Germany, as Porro looks to link up with Yamal. Lovely back heel. I think he just nutmegged Dean with a back heel. crowd certainly enjoyed that. Kubasi then is forced back into his own half. Mbappe is chasing. Kylian Mbappe, who has 12 of his 20 goals at the World Cup have been in the knockout stages. However, he's never scored a goal in a World Cup semi-final. He's scored 2 in the last 32, 5 in the last 16, 1 in the quarterfinals. And here he is now running forward, and he forces a save from Unai Simon at his near post. And 4 in the finals itself. I think Simon had it covered. That'll probably go down as the first shot on target.
Yep, and I think Mbappe coming out to the left-hand side saying, you can't find me, I'm going to have to find the ball.
From the corner, taken quickly. Porro closes down the attempted shot by Dean, and it ricochets away and out for another corner kick over on that far side. 64 minutes played. France have a corner kick. Elise will take it near side the left. It's an outswinger. In it comes. Tchouameni tries to meet it to the near post. Takes the ball over the top. We've got that second semi-final tomorrow. Eagerly awaited, of course. England, Argentina, all the build-up with Kelly from Atlanta from 6 p.m. And don't forget, we've got the Open Championship all 4 days of the 154th Open Championship at Royal Birkdale. The coverage starts for the first round on Thursday at 11 o'clock in the morning. But you're going to say something?
No, I just saw Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, on the big screen.
Yeah.
How about them Cowboys? That's what he says.
Is he Welsh? Tchouameni to Lacroix, to Kone. Kone trying to get away, caught in possession. He then has to recover, and he runs back. But again, that's down to the pressing of the Spain players. They are suffocating this French side.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And that's been the difference, isn't it? You know, we talk about how good they are on the ball, but out of possession, they are the best team by a mile at this World Cup.
Koundé passes the ball forward to Dembele. Comes off the right touchline, comes to a standstill, finds Mbappe, lays it off. Kone short forward ball. Doué towards Dean. He wasn't expecting that. He was a little bit flat-footed, and he allowed Porro to just read it, slide in, and clattered the ball out of play. And France are wanting to take this throw quickly on this near side the left, trailing by 2-0. As the ball is stroked by Doué now to Tchouameni. Koundé skips over the ball as it reaches the feet of Dembele. Dembele inside. Mbappe with a shooting opportunity, takes the deflection wide. That could have gone anywhere. As it was for Spain, the deflection took it away from the outstretched Simon, and behind for a corner kick on this near side the left that they take quickly, and they take it short. Doué to Elise. Elise passes the ball back 30 yards out. Dean gives it back towards Elise. Elise has to beat Porro. Plays it short and on the inside. This is Doué, shapes to shoot, hits it low, blocked, missed clearance, comes back towards Doué, tries the flick. Elise edge of the area, works it towards Dean. First time cross from the left-hand side, called two-handed by the goalkeeper.
Dreadful from Dean. Oh, here comes a break.
They go long. Maignan has read it, and he heads the ball forward midway through his own half. He was a long way out from goal. If he misjudged that, Yamal was away. Now it's hoisted out towards that far right-hand side. And Mbappe on the move. Late flag. A very late flag.
Yeah, he's certainly not playing as a central striker anymore. Kylian and Mbappe drifting left and right. Trying to find the ball, get involved in the game. Had that shot, which was... Cucurella did well to get out and block, actually came off his studs and went past the right-hand post of Simon. Only takes a goal from France for the nerves to kick in for Spain, though.
Fabian Ruiz out towards Baena. Baena passes it back inside. Fabian Ruiz always gifted. So technical on the ball, passes it back. Baena was caught late there by Koundé. Now this is interesting. Spain wanted the foul. Laporte said to the referee,
which is just difficult to see, isn't it, from our position. But yeah, Dean is off. He's been put out of his misery, really. What a dreadful game he's had. And then Elise is off. Hasn't happened for Elise, has it?
It hasn't. So Elise comes off. He was looking to try and equal Pele's World Cup record of 6 assists. So Ryan Cherki comes on for him. He's only played 50 minutes at this World Cup, the Manchester City man. But this is his 6th appearance off the bench in all of that time. And Theo Hernandez, who made a couple of starts in the group stages, makes his first appearance at the knockout stages of this World Cup. But that now is all 5 substitutes for France.
Yeah, well, he's got to go for it, hasn't he? Didier Deschamps into the final quarter of the match. He's got to gamble. They end up losing 3 or 4, but they have to throw more bodies forward, throw caution to the wind, and show greater quality on the ball. But Spain aren't relenting, are they? They're like an army of ants, aren't they? The way they all know their roles. Playing them so well.
Here is Mbappe. Mbappe running forward, tracked by Kubasi, plays the ball out to Doué near side. Doué now cross-charge down, over the head of the stretching Rodri. Just realised as well, it's been pointed out to me, there won't be Deschamps' final game because we've got the waste of that 3rd, 4th place playoff in Miami. Never understand the reasoning for such a game. You've just had the disappointment of missing out on a World Cup final, and you've got to go through that nonsense.
Well, you might be commentating on that, yeah? I mean, you're hardly bigging it up, are you?
I still won't change my opinion of it. Ferran Torres. When Guillem said Oyarzabal won't last the full 90, he's only lasted a couple of minutes more, but what a shift he has put in.
What a World Cup he's had, and what composure from the penalty spot.
Ferran Torres battles for the ball to try and occupy that back line. 16 minutes remaining, and Spain are 16 minutes away from reaching a 2nd World Cup final.
They'll play without a centre forward now. Spain just look to keep the ball, control the ball. Ferran Torres will play as a false 9. Just yet another body in that midfield area. They'll miss a bit of physicality though from their set plays.
Doué running forward, time desperately running out, scoops the ball towards Mbappe, 1 bounce and it's into the advertising hoardings and it's away for a goal kick, and another minute ticks by. When I say there's 15 minutes remaining, you can then add on at least 3 for the drinks break.
Yeah, but no rush from Spain, taking the time with this kick.
Goal kick is taken short. Laporte runs forward, then he'll hit it long. Baena up against Koundé once again, tries to roll away from the French right back, and then Theo Hernandez coming into a central area helps mop it up and then collects it. Now with Tchouaméni. This is Lacroix. They're just passing the ball at the back at the minute. They're waiting for someone to be available. That person who shows himself is Kone. 70,176 is the attendance here inside Dallas. Challenged by Lamine Yamal.
Well, he
fouls Mbappe.
And he should go in the book here. Lamine Yamal. Mbappe on the drift again. Out left, he's still down, Mbappe. Didier Deschamps looks like he's going to combust his technical area. Yamal matches him, and Mbappe cuts across him. I mean, it's a really poor challenge from Yamal. Takes him out completely. Mbappe back on his feet. And I mentioned Oyarzabal now has that physicality, and Spain have got to defend a free kick.
So it's a free kick which is on this near side, the left. They are playing from right to left. Thought it was going to be Dembele to take it, but instead, well, it will be Dembele to take it. Right-footed, curling in off the head of Rodri, but the referee spotted some pushing and a foul inside that penalty box, and that'll be a free kick to Spain. This is the 11th time, incidentally, that Yamal and Mbappe have come up against each other in all competitions, club, country. Yamal has won 8 of the previous 10 against Mbappe. It's another impressive statistic for the 19-year-old who is yet to lose a competitive game. Dani Olmo, another superb player for Spain tonight, or this afternoon here, as we are in Dallas. And super sub, Mikel Moreno is coming on, and then the other player, Fabian Ruiz, who's looking to see this long unbeaten run. Never tasted a defeat since he made his debut 7 years ago, looking to stretch that to 49 games. He makes way for Pedri. That was the biggest talking point, I think, about the team selection coming into the game. Pedri or Fabian Ruiz. I think the decision has been vindicated by Luis de la Fuente.
Yeah, good call from de la Fuente, but yeah, strength from the bench.
Spain coming forward. Baena on that far side, sends over the cross. Torres with a header, just wide. 6 yards out, drifted wide of that left-hand post.
Oh, I thought it was in. Baena's had a tremendous game as well, hasn't he? Clever little cross, dinked into the box, and Torres 8 yards out, went back across the goalkeeper. Oh, it must have been inches wide of Anyan's right-hand post. Maybe not enough pace on the ball.
Spain thoroughly deserved their lead, by far the superior side in every aspect. But I did expect more from France. Unai Simon chips it downfield. Lacroix gets in front of Torres to head it back. There's Upamecano's header, but Rodri, majestic in the midfield. What goes against him? Free kick to France. They've got to take it quickly. I mean, they've been struggling for ideas all afternoon here in the United States.
Well, I think they've looked really basic at the base of their midfield, France. You need that technician in there, someone who can fire passes.
Theo Hernandez, early ball in. Excellent goalkeeping again by Unai Simon. His concentration levels are so high that when he is called into action, he responds immediately.
Yeah, it was a good run from Hernandez. Yeah, a lot of talk, people saying, well, David Raya should be the #1 for Spain, but Simon's barely put a foot or a glove wrong.
And only been beaten on one occasion, 5 clean sheets in his previous 6 starts. Spain are on course for New Jersey. Cucurella bounces into Cherki.
Was that not a foul?
Eventually gets himself back to his feet. Running forward now to Dembele. Couldn't control it from Ryan Cherki. As we were saying earlier, scored in his debut in that thrilling 5-4 game. Manchester City player, 10 goals, 12 assists for City. Looking to try and give them a glimpse of daylight back in the game, just to try and get a foot to set up with a dramatic denouement.
Absolutely. They need something, they need a spark, they need a moment to cling to, but it's Spain who are still controlling the game. Fresh legs with the substitutions, still dominating the ball. And Mbappe and co, it looks like they'll be going home.
The Spanish support high up as the ball goes over the top. Simon gets something on it, only directs his header out towards Doué. He's still out of his goal. Doué blocked by Simon once again. He needed the elevation, he couldn't find it, and Simon gets away with it.
Well, Simon has been a brilliant sweeper, and he does really well, actually, because there's a ball in behind. Mbappe was running onto it. Judgment perfect, but then popped the ball straight to Doué. Doué, I think he should have been more decisive and just gone for goal, put his foot through it, taken a touch and got a shot off. He didn't, he dallied. Simon got back. That's a weak effort.
Challenge Porro on Doué, takes a tumble. That actually happened against Belgium in the quarter-final. Simon read it well, Kevin De Bruyne, as Mbappe picks this ball up 25 yards out, infield to Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni works it out right-hand side. Koundé with a low cross, missed it. Laporte missed it. Kubasi didn't, mopping up behind him. France still aren't finished. Theo Hernandez, flat-footed. Simon, caught there by a stray boot by Theo Hernandez, and the goalkeeper writhing in agony. It was brave goalkeeping, but he was certainly caught by Theo Hernandez as he went into that challenge down by the byline.
Yeah, he has been so decisive, Simon, all game. And Fernandez with an underlap, and he's entitled to go for the ball. Simon pounces, gets there, and then there's a bit of a follow-through. Fernandez kicking the ball against Simon. I think he gets one in the eye, takes one for the team. He's back on his feet. He has been excellent. His reading of the game, decision-making, on point.
It was a wicked ball in, wasn't it? We're going to see Nico Williams. He's only played 57 minutes so far at the World Cup. Had a problem with his left hamstring in May, so they've been really managing his minutes. And it's going to be another change as well. Porro is going to be coming off, and Marcus Llorente is the player who is going to replace him. So that is just like for like. He did start 2 games in the group stages, Llorente, Cape Verde and Uruguay, so this is his first time in the knockout stages at this World Cup. And it was Baena who goes off for Nico Williams, who will play on that left-hand side of the attack. Spain still working hard, still have the control.
Well, you used the word, it's a really good word to describe it. They have smothered, haven't they, France? They have suffocated them in the middle of the park. Really have. And their bench, strong bench. Williams on that left-hand side. He's a ball carrier, isn't he? Llorente. I think Pedro Porro's had a sensational World Cup. There'll be a lot of Tottenham fans scratching their heads.
There'll also be a lot of Tottenham fans looking forward to that if he can replicate it, bearing in mind that he's just signed a new deal till 2031 at Tottenham, as Lacroix was forced a little bit further back than he would have liked. He turned away from the presence of Yamal. I mentioned earlier that they'd had 47 shots on target. That's an average of 7.8 shots a game for France, and yet we've only had 1 from them. Mbappe after 64 minutes.
That's what you get with the doomsday defence, Ian.
Well, it's a defence that will win you titles. And they're looking to add the title of World Cup winners to that of European champions for Luis de la Fuente, who has had so much success, whether it be the under-19 Euros, the under-21 Euros, the Nations League in 2023, and Germany 2 years ago. They're looking to go 37 games undefeated. Free kick from Dembele, cleared away by Llorente. Maignan picks it up in the centre circle. Time is certainly not on the French side. Cherki rolls away from the challenge of Pedri.
That's been the story of France all game, though. Cherki driving centrally and then trying to scoop a ball over the back line. And Mbappe leaves one on Simon there. The Spanish goalkeeper
shown a yellow card then, Kylian Mbappe.
His head's gone, hasn't it? Simon taking his time and picks the ball up, lures Mbappe in, and Mbappe bites, crashes into the Spanish goalkeeper.
They failed to score just once in their last 21 matches. It was a game against Croatia in the Nations League in March 2025. After that surprise defeat against Ivory Coast in the warm-up, which ended a 9-match unbeaten run, They've had 7 successive wins of France, but they've fallen really, really flat here in this semi-final. Strange, because they had such a very good record coming into it at World Cup semi-finals. This was their 8th. The previous 7, they were eliminated in the first 3, but they'd progressed in each of the last 4 in 98, 06, 18 and 22. Pedri flicks it forward. Williams tries to get in. Acrobatic overhead kick by Tchouaméni to clear. Just at the last moment there for France, who are still 2-0 down. But 3 minutes of normal time remaining. Cherki picks it up for France, running forward. Royal blue shirts, white shorts, playing from right to left. The ball comes out towards Doué. He controls it. Theo Hernandez not utilised on the overlap, but fouled by Lamine Yamal just outside the area. And just, that was tight to being inside the box.
Yeah, it was. Doué got such quick feet. Oh, I tell you, it's extremely close. Just centimetres outside the box. This has to happen for France now. Mbappe over the ball. Near the corner of the box. Right-footed. Suits a right-footer, but they've got to score. This is a must. This has to go in.
It certainly does when you're 2-0 down. Mbappe just a couple of yards away from the left corner of the area. Mbappe runs forward now, right-footed, and it's over the top of the crossbar. Seaman had it covered. He actually had 3 in the wall, and there's a bit of a grimace there from Kylian Mbappe.
Well, he knows he hasn't had the service. Gets it up and over it's a 3-man wall, or just round the 3-man wall, but 3 yards over the bar. But it's all right having the best forwards, but if you're getting mauled in midfield, as France have done, that's been the problem for them.
Flick header, Lamine Yamal onto it, right-hand side. Twist one way and then the other is away from Theo Hernandez. He goes to ground, the referee had a good view of that. It was a wrestling contest. He says there was no penalty. He gives the goal kick, and Theo Hernandez helps the teenager back to his feet.
Twisting and turning, uses his body well. Lamine Yamal then. Theo Hernandez just eases him out at the last. It's inside the box, but I don't think that's a penalty.
We're inside the last 60 seconds of normal time here in Dallas. Don't forget, tomorrow we're in Atlanta. 2-hour build-up to that second semi-final. England against Argentina. And whoever progresses, history is certainly doesn't favour the sides playing in a second semi-final. Not since 2010 has a team playing the first semi-final lost at the major tournament. As the ball goes in towards Mbappe, Cucurella, excellent covering. The left back tucked in, snuffed out the danger. Corner is taken quickly. Doué, Dembele clips it into the area. Kubasi, header out. Tchouaméni knocks it out towards Koundé, plays it towards Mbappe, right-hand side of the penalty area. Mbappe shifts it on the outside, delivers the cross off the head of Laporte, drops inside the area. France now with Kone. There will be 7 minutes of added time, which we're now into. Theo Hernandez to Cherki. Still, they can't find a way through. Kone chips the ball in, and it goes all the way and out for a goal kick. So yeah, not since 2010 has a team playing the first semi-final, then lost the final at a major tournament. 3 World Cups and 4 Euros since then does not favour sides playing in that second semi-final. That's the record that England or Argentina have got to overcome.
Yeah, and this Spanish team have been absolutely superb. And the one time the French look like the football has been good enough to play through the Spanish backline, all of a sudden Cucurella appears at the right time to make a crucial clearance.
Far too late for France. Spain are back in control. But it's outstanding performance by Spain. No wonder the crowd are giving it the Olays now. The Spanish support in the third tier, probably leading that in that chunk of red and yellow. Away towards our right as Williams passes the ball to Marino. He almost comes to a standstill. Rodri digs it out. Pedri. The chasing shadows of France. This is Llorente. To Yamal. Drops his shoulder away from Theo Hernandez. Falls forward. Referee says there was no foul. Theo Hernandez has it. Chris Sutton.
That's a tremendous flop from Yamal there. I mean, he's thrown himself to the ground on a fair few occasions. But in the main, Spain have outfought, outplayed this French team.
Ball up towards Mbappe, makes a diagonal run right-hand side, but Cucurella challenges him, wins the ball, comes back towards Cucurella, infield now towards Pedri. Lamine Yamal looked shattered. He was just resting with his hands on his knees. The ball is coming out on this near side, but the fresh legs now of Pedri linking up the play in the midfield. A nonchalant little flick the ball back by Yamal. Rodri once again challenged by Kone. The referee eventually will blow his whistle and give a free kick in favour of Spain.
It's a bit late, that foul being awarded. How good has Rodri been once again for Spain at the bottom of the midfield, breaking play up, linking things. Looks back to his very, very best, doesn't he?
It's been a near flawless performance from Spain. I can just think of one mistake when the cross was whipped in the second half from the right-hand side. Llorente missed it. Apart from that, I can't. I'm trying to scramble my mind to think, has anybody else put a foot wrong for this Spanish side tonight? This is Lamine Yamal. Back with Llorente. And Llorente to Unai Simon, who ushers his defence forward. Kicks it long downfield. 3.5 minutes are remaining. Kubasi with a big Dan Burn-esque header. Picked up by Torres. Tees it up now to Williams, running forward. Williams on his toes, enters the penalty area. Williams shoots into the side netting. Goal kick. Spain still lead 2-0.
Yeah, angle against him. Williams elected to go on the outside of Upamecano. The angle against him. Trying to beat Mike Maignan at his near post, but he gives him that pace off that left-hand side, does Williams.
The 39th meeting between the two, and Spain are going to register a 19th victory in all of that time. Mbappe to Cherki. Cherki runs forward. Man over Dembele. Dembele shoots, caught and saved by Simon. He hit it early, but Simon reacted very well to it.
He read it well. Dembele off the right-hand side. Quick shift onto that left foot of his, on target, but comfortable. Simon. Oh.
Simon, only the second shot on target as far as my white piece of paper is concerned. They are going to approach the final with restricting 7 teams to 9 shots in all of that time. How impressive is that? The Olays once again. 2 minutes remain. And France, who are looking to reach a 3rd consecutive final to follow Germany and Brazil, are going to fall short, and fall a long way short on the evidence of this, because that has been a masterful performance. Cucurella again, running in fields, winning the ball. He's still there in the centre circle. Lovely takedown with a cushion touch. Passes the ball out towards Lamine Yamal on the right-hand side. And it will be a throw to Spain, and 90 seconds remaining.
How easy has it been for Spain against a French team who have been excellent in this tournament so far, but Spain have made them look distinctly average.
Lamine Yamal thought he might have been fouled from behind by Kone. The referee says no. Kone now passes the ball to Doué. 60 seconds remain. They're still 2-0 down. It's a crossfield ball that Doué has hit from left out to the right-hand side. Dembele now attacks Cucurella, who runs into his penalty area. Dembele shoots, beaten out by the goalkeeper, and then cleared further away by Rodri. This is Kone. Doué. Mbappe's going to try one curling effort over the top. Goal kick. That's surely it.
That will be that. You know what, though? French have given up. They don't even load the box when Dembele has the ball wide on the right, but there's high fives all down on the Spanish bench. They know it's job done. What a performance. With the ball, without the ball. This is a strong Spanish team. They are the team to beat.
Spain, they know. They're on the brink. The bench already celebrating. They're leading France by 2-0. And indeed, there is the final whistle. Spain extend their record-breaking run. 37 games undefeated. The European champions, the best team at this World Cup, are in the World Cup final after an outstanding performance against France, winning by 2-0.
Yeah, Spain scalped France. They flattened France. You know, we've given this French team so much praise in this tournament, but they were swatted aside, weren't they, by a silky Spain, a stingy Spain, but Spain with a sting. Outstanding performance with and without the ball. They played the French off the park. There was no answer from the French. We talked about the French forward line. Maybe they didn't get the service, but that Spanish midfield, the way they keep the ball, the way they work hard out of possession, they win the ball back. They are some team, this Spanish team under De La Fuente.
De La Fuente, who is unbeaten in all...
One that hadn't been celebrated until now.
It's hard to figure out what's the low point for U.S. soccer in the mid-1980s. It was a joke. For decades, the U.S. cannot for their lives qualify to a World Cup.
Yeah, it's true. I live in America, believe me.
The USA players were a bunch of amateurs and semi-professionals. Things really needed to change.
We want to be the first team to qualify in 40 years.
Odds were stacked against us. The whole world's like, come on, you're American. Put some shoulder pads on. Put a helmet on.
Everyone knew that Trinidad and Tobago was going to embarrass big bad United States and get to the 1990 World Cup.
We were carrying the weight of American soccer on our shoulders.
Everything was on the line on that day.
That moment alone changed the trajectory of soccer in the United States.
Well, the $1 billion goal is streaming now on Paramount+. The 3-part docuseries features first-hand accounts of several of the players who pulled off that epic upset, as well as a historical perspective provided by the late Grant Wall.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon? When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready? Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
So for the first time in 16 years, Spain, they are back in the World Cup final after beating France 2-0. It was goals from Oyarzabal and Pedro Porro. And now they advance and they'll face either the winner of England-Argentina tomorrow. That is the two options. And Sunday, it is the final in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. And we know Spain is going to be there. Who they will face will be decided soon. Good to have you with us, everybody. Welcome along. I'm Poppy Miller, alongside Nigel Reo-Coker, Mike Greller, Cello Balboa, and Troy Deeney. Grell, not often do we give you credit on this show, but you got a lot of stick online, didn't you, for saying Spain's the better team? Was that the display we saw today?
Yeah, my thoughts of the game were like France has nothing to be embarrassed about, you know, because I know Nigel's saying, oh, they didn't turn up and they're not playing well and Mbappe didn't play, Dembele didn't play. I understand all that. But for me, Spain are much better in every category. Again, much smarter, much more technical, control the spaces, control the games, control the moments, and they made France look really average over 90 minutes. It was actually incredible. And by the way, the front three of Spain, are they great players? Is Yamal considered a great player this tournament? He's probably been Spain's worst player, I would say, and without a doubt.
And they still
who's
been worse?
Who's been worse than
They've
you?
all been great.
They've all been good, but I don't think you could say he's worse. It's because of the standards he's set and expectations we have from him for what he's done at Barcelona.
That's what you said.
I think he was the worst player in the field today.
I don't think he's the worst. I think it's harsh to say that.
He's been terrible. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that with the players pound for pound, France were much better, and because the team is so much better in Spain, they were able to do that type of performance. And I'll tell you what, if I was a player right now, there's the last team in the world I want to play against, because you can't get the ball from them. They win it back so quick. It looks like they play with extra players. It looks like they have 13, 14 players in the field.
Well, we've got loads of reactions to come, but we do want to get the thoughts of Olivier Giroud, the former World Cup winner with France, is joining us now. Again, Olivier, good to see you. I wish it was in better circumstances, obviously, with your French team. How do you reflect on that performance this afternoon?
Well, I think Spain outclassed France, basically. As you mentioned, France did not really show up tonight. I'm really disappointed. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, anything can happen in football. And even if, as I said previously, they were my two big favorites for the title, I believe Spain played a great game. Technically fantastic. They controlled the midfield. Rodri, Olmo. You know, they played a great game, and you know, just credit to them. And yeah, it's a tough moment for French people because we had so much expectations and maybe too much. But that's the beauty of the game, you know. Anything can happen, and yeah.
Olivier, watching that game, what areas in France's performance were disappointing? Because for me, I felt watching that game, there was an element at the start where I felt they showed Spain too much respect. And you're right, they lost the midfield battle. But also when it comes to pressing to win the ball back, France looked like they had no idea how to press Spain.
It has, my friend, it has always